Alright, guys, today I'm going to talk to you about something that you probably never have thought about in terms of your health and fitness and your energy and your fatigue, and how this one concept can change so much about how you feel that's not discussed. And I'll tell you how I came to this conclusion. First of all, I've been studying health, well-being, fitness, and optimizing performance for the past 13 years. I went to college for it, but they didn't teach anything like what I'm about to talk to you about. So you guys know a little bit about my story. I struggled with overstress, overwork, chronic fatigue, brain fog, erectile dysfunction, chronic depression, anxiety, and feeling very stuck in life. I had two midlife crises in my 20s, and I want to tell you about the turning point that I had, because I've always been fascinated by finding things that can just transform your life, transform how you feel. You know, this is why people get addicted to going to the gym and running, because exercise is this transformational experience. And some of you guys understand what it feels like when you change your diet, or when you pick up a new meditation practice, or when you start a new fitness routine that really locks in on what you need, and it changes how you feel about yourself. It starts transforming everything about your life. Your mind, your mindset changes, your body changes, how you hold yourself, your self-image starts to change. This is very key in terms of trying to change your life and improve. Anything that can cause identity level change is so foundational. And so that excitement was so attractive to me. You know, when you start a new weightlifting program and you get your new gains for the first 3 months to 6 months, your body is transforming. Your self-confidence is transforming. You feel like a new person. Everything about you is changing. And so what happened to me was, when I was dealing with that chronic fatigue syndrome, the anxiety, the depression, the brain fog, I just felt like something was off about me. What really clicked, and my revelation was, testosterone can change your life. And there's a way that you can increase it naturally. And there's a lot of ways where you're messing up your testosterone levels, which is ruining your life. I'm talking about sleep quality, social quality, brain clarity, your energy, your vitality. Even if you just feel a little bit tired for the whole day, you're irritable, you're cranky, you need a Snickers. You basically feel like you're PMSing. It's the closest thing I can liken it to. And believe me, I know what it feels like to be sleep deprived. And being constantly stressed and not at your best physically is very similar to being sleep deprived. But getting back to the point about testosterone, I still remember I was coming back from India. I went there on a personal mecca to try and understand more about my subconscious. And, you know, why we're all here. That's another story, though. I was coming back, and I lost 30 pounds when I was there. I had mild food poisoning. I just couldn't digest any of the food that was there. I loved the taste of it, but I withered away. I was chronically fatigued. It was hard for me to go up steps. I felt like an old man. I was constantly cranky. A lot of symptoms of chronic fatigue, just like when I was overworking myself to the bone. And when I'm coming home, I'm on the plane, and I start researching about chronic fatigue and how to regain your vitality. And I've been sifting through this information the 3 months I was in India, just trying to understand how to boost my vigor, how to not be tired, how to improve my digestion, my immunity, and nothing was working because, you know, the food there and the water was there was really messing me up. Anyways, when I was coming home, I was this 135-pound weakling. I can hardly do like 3 dips. I was squatting, if I'm lucky, 135 for a couple reps. And I still remember finding the world-famous Mark Ripto. And he was talking to Jay Campbell, who's caught my attention because he wrote an entire book on how to optimize your testosterone. And they were talking about their combined 30 to 50 years of experience working with men, not only physically in the gym, but they would see a lot of guys that would come in, and, you know, when you work with someone for years, they really open up to you and you build a great friendship, being their trainer and their coach. And these guys would talk about how they're having marriage issues, midlife crises, constant social anxiety, not feeling like a man, feeling stuck in the gym, and not being able to think as sharp, and just feeling like they lost their mojo. They're going down. This ship is sinking. And certain people, they're able to help with simple cures like just weightlifting, just working on basic things in diet. But for other guys, there was something deeper that was wrong. And so Mark Ripto learned about this interesting concept called testosterone optimization therapy, also called TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, where it's not taking steroids like the average guy would think. Is you go to your doctor and he gives you therapeutic levels of testosterone that you can inject in yourself bi-weekly or even monthly. You can rub a cream on your body. It doesn't even have to be a shot. And so it doesn't even bring you up to steroid level, but it does bring you to the upper natural limits. Okay? So some guys naturally have this level of testosterone. And what they found was a lot of these guys will go to the doctor and they find that they had below 400 ng per deciliter, which is very bad. Optimum range you want to have is at least 400 all the way up to like 1200. I mean, heck, just be like Tony Robbins and just have like your pituitary just constantly pumping growth hormone and testosterone and see what kind of results you get. I have nothing against having high levels, but you want at least 400. And so the guys that have below 400, they get diagnosed based on their symptoms more than even their levels. And so the symptoms are everything we have already talked about: chronic fatigue, low energy, low confidence, brain fog, erectile dysfunction. And what happened when these guys got back up to the normal levels, around 600, 700, 800 ng per deciliter, is not only did their bodies change, they lost their spare tire, belly fat just disappearing, skinny fat guys getting muscle on their chest and their shoulder, and their self-image starting to change, but their psychology started to change. They stopped feeling stuck. They started gaining back their energy and their confidence and their persistence to break through plateaus, to break through walls, to deal with problems, minimize the problems and their perceived gravity, and increase their self-efficacy to where they just feel like, wow, I'm back. Their energy levels go back up. Their pain levels decrease. Their inflammation levels go down. Everything starts working again. And it's at that moment I realized this is what I need. This can change everything. Because these guys were not getting the steroid levels. They're just getting the normal, average male levels. And that's what got me interested in testosterone. Testosterone then became my obsession, because there's natural ways you can increase it without having to pay a monthly doctor's bill for the drugs, and without having to shrink your balls and decrease your body's natural production because you're taking it endogenously. So I studied for years and experimented with myself for years after I got back from India on increasing testosterone levels naturally, how to train, how to eat, how to think, how to sleep, how to detox, how to meditate and decrease cortisol, how to optimize my hormones. And there's actually a huge community and movement called the biohackers, the health hackers, to where I was able to change everything about myself, including my mood, including my social behavior, including my level of boldness and my self-image. I was able to make amazing changes. Like my friend says, who took steroids before, he said, it changes your reality. It changes your perception of reality. Just think about that for a second. And what I realized was it literally can transform you, and it's not too complicated. It's low-hanging fruit. People aren't talking about this in the self-help industry, and people aren't really talking about this at the gym, really. It's kind of like hush-hush. Anytime you start talking about raising testosterone levels, society has this whole stigmatized thing like, What are you doing? You're taking steroids? What do you want to do? Die of a heart attack? You want to start beating people and get overly aggressive? And so it isn't talked about a lot, but it's so beneficial and it's so healthy. And it's the master key. It's the master key. This should be taught to every single man because there's so many traps that you can fall into that decrease your testosterone and ruin yourself mentally and physically. Your confidence levels just, they're gone. And so, I really started looking into the literature and I found a lot of interesting stuff there. And, it's fun to think about too. So imagine for a second, imagine what happens if you have a normal 25-year-old female and you start giving her testosterone to the point where she gets average man levels. What happens? Does she just change a little bit? Does she just get a little bit stronger in the gym, get a little bit of muscle, get a little bit leaner? Or does she start seeing changes in every aspect of her life? It's the second one. So that's why it's so interesting, because not only will her gym results and fitness results change, her aesthetics change. She starts getting hair on her arms. She starts getting facial hair. Her mustache starts to grow. Her voice gets deeper. She starts behaving different socially. She's energized and aggressive and assertive. You don't just stay the same person when you optimize your testosterone levels. Testosterone is what determines your reality, your personality. You can't stay the same. Even if you wanted to stay the same, if you were getting 300, 400, 500 higher levels of testosterone pumped into you, you would have more energy. You would have more dopamine. You would have more serotonin and GABA. These chemicals that literally change how your brain works. Your focus and concentration, your memory. Everything changes. So what determines whether you're a male or a female? Have you ever thought about that? Like, why are you a male if you're watching this? It's because a little dose of testosterone got injected and it touched you and it completely transformed your essence as a person. Now, mind you, the same thing happens with even small changes in your estrogen profile. So if you look at fish that are swimming around in a body of water and you measure the estrogen level in the water, and if you go to places where there's slightly higher levels of estrogen in the water just because of industrial waste, or you'll actually find, this is nasty, but you'll find that areas where women are taking excess amounts of birth control, that's seeping into the water and the sewage, and that actually has high levels of estrogens, and the fish are getting these, we're talking about billions parts per billion, billionths of the ratio. If you have 1 ounce, it's 1 billionth. Sometimes it's trillionth. 1 trillionth part of it is estrogen. And what happens? What do you think happens to these fish? They're exposed to a little bit more estrogen. A little bit more. Their sex changes. They change from males to females. It changes who they are. So the point is micro, nano level changes in your hormones changes everything about the DNA expression. It can change your sex. How much deeper can you go at the level of transformation? So this is what I'm saying. You have to decrease your estrogen for a man and increase your testosterone. And once you do that, everything about you changes. Your reality shifts. That's why we're talking about transformation and health promotion and biohacking through testosterone optimization. That's a huge part of this channel. And if you're not tapping into this, you're missing out on something that can transform your life, how you feel, your happiness, your potential. You will not fulfill your greatest potential if you don't take this into your hands and harness it naturally. All right? That's what I wanted to talk about today. If you're interested, like and subscribe. We're going to be digging into this. I'm going to be talking about every single way that you can increase your testosterone and optimize your hormones to transform your life. Like the video if you like the video. Make sure to subscribe and stick around. I care about you. I know what it's like to be in the hole. I know what it's like to be hopeless. This is your hope. This is your ticket. This is your holy grail. It's so worth it. Knowledge and information and awareness can transform everything. Start getting the mental health awareness, transform yourself, experiment, and we're on this journey together. It's going to be a lot of fun, and there's a lot more good to come. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned.